What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast, where we talk about any and everything. Personal, old snaps and claps. It's a dang good day to talk about a few things. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It is your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast. I am so excited and so grateful to have this wonderful young lady, Destiny, the one and only, Inspire. What's up?
Hey, girl. Hey. I am good. I'm excited to be here.
I know, like it's been forever,
right?
You know, forever.
We've actually connected.
Right.
Social media is so beautiful. You feel like you know someone, see them every day, but it's nothing like that up close and personal touch and tangible love. So I'm excited.
I know, like it's been years, a few years. We actually started at meeting, connecting with each other on Charging Station Radio.
Yes.
Shout out to my bro Isaac. What's up, Charging Station Radio? But here now at WadeWorksStudios in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm so excited to have you. And I'm just so blessed because we actually met there and then really like connected fully through Facebook, you know, IG, and both of us inspiring women and all that. So how is that? Let's take it back, because we know that you are out here doing the thing, because I've watched you grow as this beautiful, you know, Black queen. You know, you out here queen, and we bossing. That's what we do. Tell us, start us a little bit back for where all this starts.
Yeah, so I've had my foundation upbringing in the church, PK, church girl, born and raised through and through. You know, God is good all the time, all of that good stuff. And so I kind of went through my own transitional period and season of life where I was really at a crossroads where I had to discover who I was. Like I'd always been attached to my roles, my identities, my family, my ministries, you know, even marriage. And so I got to that shifting where I got to my Damascus road, if you will. And so God was calling me into doing something else. And I had to really sit with myself and discover, who am I? What am I called to do? Why am I here? And so with that led me into speaking, that led me into coaching, because in a season of my life when I went through divorce and depression, I had someone that was there to kind of help coach me through things. And I knew the Bible, I knew God, I love God with all my heart, but you know, the Bible says you have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. So there were so many things I didn't understand about what was going on in my life. And so I got someone to help coach me through that. I still had my spiritual foundation, but also had that personal development component to help me work on me, help me discover what's on the inside of me that I need to bring out of me. And so that led me into wanting to do the same thing for other women. I remember making a vow to God in one of my darkest hours. And I said, God, if and when you deliver me and help me out of this situation, help me out of depression, help me out of low self-esteem, loss of identity, help me out of the feelings of divorce and mourning the loss of relationships. If and when you help me, I promise to be to other women everything that I need for myself in this moment.
Wow.
And so that's been my journey right there.
Wow. That is so powerful. Even speaking to me, of course, I'm divorced and been for just a minute here. So I know for me, like the struggle, the process, because a lot of people say, hey, you got to find that process. There's a process that you have to go through with, you know, knowing who you are as a person, as a woman. You have to, because as women, we tend to carry a lot of things. We were just built that way. Don't hate. We were just built. Yeah, we were just built that way. Yeah, it is what it is. But I know for me, it was a process. It was a loss. But in that, God really connected with me and saying, okay, Crystal, you're going to go through this process. You're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel stressed out. You're going to feel a little weak, you know, at times. And it is okay to cry. That was spoken to me. Like I remember laying in my bed, like really connecting with myself. And I was just in tears and just like really saying, I'm just so tired of crying. And I made it in my mind that was going to be the last time I shed a tear. It wasn't, y'all. It wasn't. But for me, it was just really like growth, definitely, for sure. But you are so inspiring. And I love that it is Destiny inspired, because you inspire so many women. When I look at you and I watch you and the words that you know, that God gives you when you're speaking, it is so encouraging. I want to thank you for that. So in your growth and in you becoming a speaker, a life coach, is there ever, you know, I know you're young already, in your younger age, is this something that you always wanted to do?
Never. It was never a thought in my mind. I didn't even, like, I wasn't someone that spoke in church. I wasn't the person that got up and presented. Like, I wasn't any of those things. I was always kind of the background person. You know, I always had a great personality, but I love to be in the background. I love to be behind the scenes, low key. I was always a person pushing everyone else's dream forward. I was always the biggest cheerleader, but I never took those chances to do anything on my own. I never wanted to be in the forefront. I never wanted to be the center of attention. I was always the person that was withdrawn. But I realized a part of that also had to do with insecurity, with not feeling like I was worth it, feeling like, who wants to hear what you have to say? Like, why would anybody listen to you anyway? Why would anybody hear what you have to say? So as a result, I was like, if I can't be someone, maybe I can just help push other people who are somebody, who can be somebody. And so speaking and coaching and being a best-selling author, those were never things. In my mind, I always thought maybe one day I would like to write a book one day, but I never thought it was possible for me. I never thought it was tangible. But it came with a mindset shift, and that came with the identity portion. My first book was called Discovering Destiny, a 31-day guide to finding yourself and fulfilling your purpose. And it was literally me chronicling my journey. If I had to ask myself, one, who are you? Because like you said, as women, because we take on so much, we say, when you ask, who are you? Oh, I'm the wife of this. I'm the mother of this many children. I'm such and such. I have this type of profession. We label ourselves by our titles, roles, and responsibilities. But at our core, and I talk about this in my book, if I stripped you, or if you were stripped of every title and label that you thought you were, who then would you say that you were? Because that's what God did to me. He stripped me of all of my titles. I was no longer a wife. I was no longer operating in the same positions in ministry or church. I was no longer all of these external roles and responsibilities. So I had to discover at my core, who are you? So even though I speak and I coach, like, that's not who I am. It's what I do. Who I am, I'm a world changer. I'm a peacemaker, right? I'm a child of God. I'm a friend. I'm a lover. I'm someone who embodies Bible, brains, and beauty, right? So even though these are the labels and titles that people understand based on our occupations and our roles, at my core, if I could never speak again, if my hand could never write again, I still know who I am, because those things don't define my identity. They're just aspects that I express my identity. And so I had to realize that motherhood or being a wife, I never was able to have children. I never had children. So if I made up my life about being a mother or a wife, and then those things were taken from me, I would feel like I didn't have a life to live. And that's what happens with so many people you see when they're stripped of these things stripped of money. They fall into depression. If you put all of your stock in going to the NBA or going to this to do that, and those opportunities were stripped from you, you've made up your entire blueprint of the world based on, this has to happen to me. And so when you're now stripped of that, we fall into depression. We don't know who we are. We don't know what to do. The world, the life is over. But when you get to the core of, who am I really? If I had none of these things anymore, I'd be okay, because they don't make me who I am. They just help express who I am on the inside. And so that's been the journey.
I don't even know what to say after that. That is... I love that, because, you know, when you're stripped of what you do professionally, even like being a mother, you know, on your job, at home, doing that. I'm trying to think here sitting, what would I be? Who would I be as that person? Yes, I am. I will be that boss, that inspiration, that motivation, that peace, where you were saying. And a lot of people are looking for that. They're looking for that truth. They're looking for that peace that people bring. And I just really, you know, when we're speaking to women, and that's my huge thing of speaking to women and letting them know who they are and how great they are as a person. And when we just really strip ourselves and just tend to just fall into things that we really don't want to do as women, and we just I'll just do that just because. No, you don't have to fall for that. Be the best inside person you can be, and just bring that out and grow from it. And it took me a long time, because you sitting here saying you were that person that sat in the back. That was me. You were that person that pushed people from, like, hey, from the back, go, you can do that. That was so me.
And it was fulfilling. You did it with a pure heart. You enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm almost 40. I'm not afraid to say I'm almost 40 next month. And now I'm thinking, like, what do Crystal want to do now? What do Crystal want to fulfill that makes her happy? That makes people want to push her, the root for her, like, hey, go girl, you doing it, you know? Like, That's so mean.
And I coach so many women because that's what I do. I'm a mass certified life coach. Or people call me AKA the confidence coach. And when I work with so many women, whether it's from relationships, whether it's goal building, growing their business in entrepreneurship, and I ask them certain questions, a lot of women sometimes they don't even know what's their favorite food. They don't know what's their dream car because they're like, no one's ever asked me that before. I've never had to answer that for myself. I've always liked whatever anyone else liked, whatever the majority rules. Oh, wow. I've always went with the flow. So it's like, no, we have to, before we can get to this, we got to know who you are, what you want, and also why do you want it? Right?
Wow.
Because your why matters. Like for me, if I was just being a coach and doing women empowerment because it was trending, it was popular, you can do cool brunches and make money, you can get attention. If I was just doing it for those reasons, what happens when I get all of that?
Yeah.
I'm still going to feel unfulfilled. What happens when you make all the money that you say you want to make and you realize it's not giving what they say it's supposed to have gave, right?
Right.
So your why matters. Why do I want to do this? For me, my why is because I don't want to see another woman experience life the way I did and feel like it has to be like this. This is just the way it is. I have to live like this. So for me, my conscience doesn't allow me to. And then also I remember the woman that I used to be and I don't want to go back to her.
Exactly.
And so if a dog is chasing you and you're running and a dog is chasing you, if you decide to stop, that dog doesn't stop running. It's going to keep running. So all of the things that I've overcome, that I've gotten through, whether it was self-medicating through alcohol, through doing things that I knew was not the real me, when I decide to stop doing what God called me to do and being who he called me to be, those things didn't stop. I haven't forgot how to drink. I haven't forgot how to do these things. These things, you don't forget them. And they're waiting for you to stop and give up. And so my why is I have to keep going because one day I will be blessed with children, whether it's spiritual, natural, and I want to be able to be an example to say, if she got through this and she did, if she didn't make excuses about her past and I am the way I am because of who did this to me, if she did it, then I can. And right now when I embody, I could talk about B3 Bible Brands Beauty because I want to show women you don't have to pick either or. Like growing up, sometimes you think, well, I have to, if I'm spiritual, I can't be this as a woman, or I can't be that, or I can be successful professionally, but not here. And I've seen so many people, even in Christendom, unfortunately, they're successfully spiritually, or they look like it. So you love going to church, but you don't want to go home because of what you got to face when you go home.
Yeah.
You're making the money, but the money is also making you. You don't have peace. And I say you don't have to choose. When you're in God and you really find out who you are, you'll understand, no, I can have it all. I can have health and wealth. I can have abundance and blessings. I'm not either or. Baby, I'm both and. I am all of the above. And so that's what I now strive to live out. Like, I don't believe, the Bible says, beloved, I wish above all that thou may prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prosper. Baby, that's all of it. That's not picking and choosing. And so we have this culture sometimes where we feel like we have to pick and choose if we're going to be successful or if we're going to be healthy, if we're going to have mental peace. And you don't have to choose. When you decide who God calls you to be, you know who you are and you walk in it, you can have it all. Yeah. And that's what I emphasize right now. As a woman, as a queen, we can have it all. A healthy marriage, a healthy body, a healthy life, peace of mind, and money. Yeah. We don't have to pick.
That's so good. I love that. Listen, women, you can have it all. You can have it all.
You can have whatever you like.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm convinced. You can't tell me God's plan for my life to struggle all the time. No.
Right.
The Bible says the poor you will have with you always. Baby, he didn't say I had to be one of them. He just said they're going to be with you always. That don't mean I have to be one of them.
I'm not going to be struggling out here.
What glory, what honor does that give my God? If I'm out here repping hard, going hard for God, and I'm telling people, listen, you need to give your life to Christ. He's the way, the truth, and life. But I'm sitting here miserable. My marriage is messed up. I'm struggling. I'm barely getting by, but I know the scriptures though.
Yeah, I know the word.
Right, but you're not living it. And I found that to be me. Like I knew the Bible front and back. Baby, we can quote some scriptures, but I couldn't live it. Yeah. I wasn't living it because I didn't have an interpretation that the Bible was not meant just for your spiritual life. Yeah. It's for your total well-being.
Yeah.
And the Bible has biblical principles on stewardship, how to manage money, how to do business. Like the Bible has all of that. But we've compartmentalized it to just Sunday morning service, but it can go for every area of your life when you really know who you are and tap into it. So I'm not ashamed being successful in business, being fruitful, having a nice snatched body, and still being able to sing. Like it, I don't. Who said I had to pick? Like no.
Yeah.
Baby, look, it's a no for me.
Look, we're sitting up here looking good.
Right. Come on. I don't gotta be looking all homey and like, no.
I may have to pull in a little snatch. Like,
listen, you can have it over you like. Come on.
Yeah, but I love it. So I love the spirit that you carry. Your personality is just so out of this room, out of this place. Like, I'm for real. Like, you are from Atlanta. Well, actually,
Augusta, Georgia.
So you're not a transplant. You're in it. So for me personally, I'm planning to be here like pretty soon, but one day. But I just know for me, when I get here, I want to reach the heart of the women. I don't want to just get here and be like, oh, okay, I'm in Georgia, but I want to reach the heart of women. That's what I'm searching for. So I know that for me, it's going to be business. It's going to be work, because I'm not going to be coming here just to play, just to, feel Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, okay. This is Atlanta. We lit up here. We're ready now. ATL shot. But yeah, I'm just ready to, fulfill what God has for me, because like I said, I was that person that was in the background. And now, for me, even looking back, Destiny, it's kind of hurtful for me, because I was like, dang, why did you do that for so long? Why did you stand in the back? You were just as great as your siblings. Like, I'm number 11 out of 12. And I was just as good, or even better than my siblings, because that's who I was pushing. I was pushing my family, my sisters, and my brothers. Y'all can do it better than me. Y'all go do that thing, And for me now, I just want that. I want them to be able to push me, knowing if I don't get it, I'm going to be okay. Because as long as I got me, my, boyfriend, husband, whatever, if that's all that I got that's pushing me, that is all that I need. And, it's just a really great thing, because I know that when I hit that one step and God put me here and I get to work, it's going to be all gold from there.
Yeah. And one hack, or I don't even like call it hack, but one strategy that I used with my queens is, even when it comes to setting goals or things that you want out of life, I teach them to be connected to it and not attached to the outcome. So if I'm connected to who I'm, because a lot of times we talk about being goal driven, which is good. I love being goal driven, but beyond being goal driven, I am growth driven. Yeah. So even if I don't hit that goal, I'm not disappointed so much about not hitting the goal. I'm still enthusiastic because who I grew into in the process. So the woman that I became, what I gained out of it. So when you become growth driven and not just goal driven, even if I don't hit the goal, I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm just connected. So I'm connected to the fact that I want to empower women all over the world in their personal development and spiritual things, even in their entrepreneurship, right? I'm connected, but I'm not attached. Meaning, perfect example, when COVID hit, before COVID hit, I said, this year I want to travel the world and reach more women. I want to get on the plane, walk down that aisle to my window seat. I want to travel all over the world. Now, if I was attached to that, then when COVID hit, I would have lost it all. Yeah. Because it wasn't no flying. It wasn't no flying all over the world. But because I wasn't attached to the outcome, I was connected to it. Meaning I could still stay connected now and sit like this and do a virtual event. Because I wasn't attached to how it had to be done. I was connected to the overall aspect of empowering women. Not, I got to get on a plane to go empower women. So that way I wasn't disappointed. Of course, it's a little bit disappointing, but when I shift my mindset, I am attached. I'm connected and not attached to it. And so that's the mindset you got to have when you're going after your goals and things that you want.
And this is awesome, because I listen to you speak a lot of times, even on Facebook and stuff that you post and things, and I'm like, wow, I love this, and it definitely encouraged me. But I wanted to pull out here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, where a lot of women that you have reached, and they have really sent you posts, and one of them says, thanks. It's a honor to have someone who's really there for you when it's not just about the money, but you really care. Sis, you go over and beyond for me in my physical and spiritual growth. I mean, look, don't cry.
Make me tear up.
Don't cry. So how does that, I mean, I guess I already know because you're sitting over here crying, how that makes you feel. But here, how does that make you feel?
It's fulfilling because it emphasized the fact that I'm keeping the vow I made to God, which was to be to other women everything that I need for myself. Yeah. And so it's what keeps me grounded. When money business has your ebbs and flows, you have your peaks and valleys. And so regardless of the status of any of those things, I'm able to stand in my truth and say, I am receiving true fulfillment, knowing that I am fulfilling my purpose and
Yeah.
changing lives.
Yeah.
That's priceless. You can't put a price tag or amount of money on someone whose relationships were saved, whose mindset was saved,
Right.
whose purpose and destiny was saved. So it's fulfilling at a heart level, at a deeper level, beyond just surface, beyond, oh, you got social media followers, you got 10,000 Instagram, you got this 5,000 Facebook, like beyond the vanity metrics of what most people look at to deem if you're successful. It's a heart level, so
Right.
it's not surface.
That's awesome. I love it. Because when I was reading these, and I mean, there was multiple on your page, and I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I was like, I was just about to tear up. Like, yeah, I was like, wow. Like, even like knowing you just over the internet and just connecting, like, this is our first time even meeting face to face. It was like, this is my sis. She's out here doing the thing. I'm so freaking proud of you, like, for real. I mean, it's so amazing that I can just read here and just read people's comment about who you are as a person and what you bring to them. You're not just pouring out, hey, I need this such and such money, but pass the plate around.
Right.
Pass the plate around again. It's not even about that. It's just reaching the hearts and changing women. So sis, you keep doing what you're doing, because it's really amazing. Really, your growth, and I just see you right here in the ATL just exploding big time. You're already big time, like, to me, because I was like, this girl is out here doing a thing. So let's get into the health part, because I have saw you work out, and I'm like, Destiny, how in the world you just lift your body up like that and just eased it down? Come on, girl. How did you get into that? How did you get into like the health part?
Yeah, so it's so funny. Everything kind of connects. We try to isolate and compartmentalize parts of our life, but fitness was actually the first thing that I got into before the empowerment. So before, when I was married, you know how every year you make New Year resolutions, like this year I'm gonna do this, this year I'm gonna do that. So for me, I've always been a very petite woman, aka I just been super skinny. I was always super skinny. Growing up, I was always picked on. I was a girl with a big head and a little body. I had a little boy body. Like I was a late bloomer, all of those things. And so even growing up as a younger woman, culturally, in our culture, it's more favored when you're nice, full figured, healthy, And so for me, I just got tired of being really, really skinny. I got tired of, more than anything, rigging my clothes up. I had to like rig. And I always was like a fashionista, but people don't know how hard it was to rig up clothes to fit you because I was so tiny. And that was an insecurity for me. And so I always make New Year resolutions. Well, people always make New Year resolutions. I said, you know what? This year I'm going to do something about it. I'm not just going to complain about being small. And a lot of times people couldn't even focus on me because like, oh, you're so tiny. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, like,
they're looking at how slim.
Yeah. So it was insecurity, certain clothes I wouldn't wear because I didn't want to show my silhouette, because I didn't want people picking on me or, not taking me seriously. I'm trying to do business and they're looking at, look how small you are. And I'm like, so that year I was like, I'm gonna get a trainer. I was like, I'm no more complaining if I'm not gonna do anything about it. So I got a trainer January of, I want to say 2017. January 2017, got a trainer, started working out. My first session, I was so angry at him. I said, I hate this guy. I am never gonna do this again. Why would he put me through all this? I told him I've never worked out before. This is so hard, but I'd already paid for the month. So I was like, well, I gotta stick with it now, because one thing about me, I ain't wasting money. So I stuck with it.
Ain't wasting no money.
Right, we ain't wasting no money over here. I need all my coins. And so I stuck with it. And I started seeing my body transform, right? Okay. So then it became beyond just physical. It became mental, right? Because when you really get involved with working out, it has to have a mind-muscle connection. And so a lot of things that I learned in fitness, I was applying it to my real life. And because everything I did was for everybody else in my life, going to the gym was the one thing that gave me peace. It was like my asylum and my sanctuary. I didn't have to live up to no one's expectations. I didn't have to look a certain way, do what anybody wanted me to do. It was literally just for me. So working out was the only thing in my life that I had for me. So it was like my life depended on it. And so as I did it, to be able to see that I could control me, I couldn't control anything else around me. So I thought I couldn't control my marriage. I couldn't control what was going on in church. I couldn't control work, but I could control me and my body. I could manipulate it to do whatever I wanted it to do. And so as I began to work out, and I saw the transformation, it also began to increase my confidence because I began to like who I saw when I looked in the mirror now. I began to not always look at myself. People always think, oh, you're just so beautiful. But on the inside, I struggle with so many insecurities. And so by working out, it wasn't just my body changing that gave me confidence, but it was the fact that I now had control over myself. I could control what I eat. I can control what I want my body to look like with the proper training condition. And so that's something I just grew to love. And as I began to empower myself through it, that's what gave me the confidence and the courage to really step out and say, you know what, let me do this. Let me try to do that. So that was like the catalyst for everything. And so fast forward, I always kind of kept it up. I did a competition. I got divorced 2017, the same year I started working out. And so I did a competition. Just the people at my gym was like, you train so hard, you should compete. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it for those reasons. I'm just doing it, for myself. But they convinced me. I did it. I won first place. I was like, oh, look at my sister. And this recent time, I did it again. So, and the reason why I did it this time, I was like, you know what? I haven't done this in 3 years, but I felt like, well, maybe I just got lucky. And somebody that was close to me, they was like, you just kind of got lucky on that. And I was like, okay.
They trying
right. And so in my mind, I said, you know what? I'm going to prove to myself that I'm good at what I do, that I can accomplish whatever I put my mind to. So I did it again 3.5 years later and won again, except this time for NPC, which is the largest amateur bodybuilding division in the country. So
that's amazing.
And came in first place and qualified for nationals, which means when I go compete again, I can win my pro card. So
congratulations. So, you were doing the thing. Listen, let me tell you this story. Okay, so I've been watching Tabitha Brown.
Auntie Tab.
You hear this? Girl, holler at me. I want to come. You can cook for me. Sure. But let me tell you this. I was like, I'm going vegan.
Okay.
I put it in my mind, I'm going vegan. In between that 1 week, I had to get some bacon. I was like, I'll forget it. I'm not doing this. I couldn't do it. I was like, man, I had my mindset. My mind was like, okay, we can do this. But then you get to smelling the bacon. You get seeing all the shrimp and stuff that I love. Look, I like shrimp, and I want to be a BMW. I can name you that. That's what I want. But I was like, I failed totally, completely. And the workout thing, now see, when COVID hit, I was doing hip hop Zumba. I love to dance. That's my thing. And when it hit, I didn't get to go. They closed, shut everything down. But then they brought it back up, and I was like, okay, I got a different job. So I looked at all the negative things of holding me back from doing it. I'm like, then somebody threw in my ear, they got hip hop Zumba on your phone. You can just connect it to your television. Like, oh, okay.
Right, removing all the excuses, huh?
I was like, I shut my internet down. I'm playing no more.
I don't got internet no more. I don't got a TV.
Right. And that's what I love to do, but I haven't got back into it yet. So just being here, and I'm seeing all this amazingness inside me.
It took a lot of hard work to get the little that I got. It took a lot.
Listen, it encourages a lot of people see, they look at, okay, this is going to be so tough. It's going to be work. But ladies, it is work for us. We have those, especially, as we have all the curves and everything that we have to snatch into place. But I love it. I love it.
And it's a lifestyle change. So it's more so a lot of times we do it for like a particular event or particular like season, sundress season, whatever. But you have to incorporate into your lifestyle and like not try to do like certain diets that are like unachievable, but something that you could say every day I can wake up and eat like this. Yeah. Like certain things I know, like competition training, I can't eat like competition training 365 a year. It's not sustainable.
So what do they do? So what? Tell me about that.
So gallon of water a day, up to 2 gallons of water, close to the show. Now the average training is like 16 weeks. I only did an 8-week prep. We call it prep.
Oh, wow.
But I had to like kind of do double in 8 weeks, and most people do in 16 weeks. But no sugar at all, hardly any salts. A lot of lean food. So I ate a lot of asparagus. I don't want no more asparagus. A lot of asparagus, a lot of whitefish, so tilapia. So basically like the same meals. And it's healthier anyway to eat smaller meals versus 3 large meals. So 5 smaller meals a day. So I was eating 5 times a day, but the portions, every piece of food that I put in my mouth had to be weighed. And it was so difficult that I was even traveling for speaking engagements. I was meal prepping my food and bringing it with me. I went to WadeWorksStudios. I went to Houston and meal prepped all of my meals and stuck to it, did not deviate. But my why was strong. Determined. Yeah, my why was strong. I was determined, no, I'm going to prove to myself that you can do whatever nothing can stop you. No one can stop you but you. And then now I garnered all of these queens who were watching me who's like, you know what? You drinking more water? Look at my water bottle. I'm drinking something you know what? You've got all these women now depend on you. So now this is bigger than just you. These are women that saying if she can make a plan to stick to it, then I can do it too. Right? Yeah. So my why was Des, you can't quit now. You can't. So I kept going. I was like, I got to do it. But it was difficult. It was.
So what's your thing now that you're doing? You continue to stay in shape, even with the meals.
Yeah. So I don't meal prep all my food all the time. But I make sure I manage my portion sizes. It's really a lot about portions. And I still eat out, but I just monitor it, right? So I still love Chick-fil-A. That's Angel's food. Yeah. You can't cut out Chick-fil-A. Yeah, that was the one thing I wanted so Sunday. Bad, right? Take advantage of them 6 days, So I still eat Chick-fil-A. I just went and bought a big tub of Bluebell ice cream last night, but I have to practice self-discipline, right? I love ice cream. I love these things. So I got to practice self-discipline, self-control. So making sure I incorporate a green in every meal, making sure I don't have too much sugar, too much salt, have a day or 2 days a week where I'll do a cheat day and just make sure I'm staying active, right? It doesn't take a whole lot. It's making one small decision. When I work out a lot, I'm going to eat healthy afterwards because it's something about making a connection. You know what? I feel like eating healthy today, right? And you have your moments where you may overindulge, but you just get back on track and you make it fun, right? Yeah. If you can't eat nothing but, if you can't eat celery and Brussels, don't try to do all of that stuff.
Don't bring no Brussels sprouts.
Right. Just make it. Food should be fulfilling and comfortable. And you don't always eat just to get full. We eat for sustenance. So you eat to sustain your body, sustain your health, but not to overindulge. So it takes time, but it's making it to where it's sustainable.
I've been without my favorite chips, my Lay's, my plain Lay's, until yesterday. And they get the small bags, 2 for $1.
Yeah.
I was in the cart yesterday. Yes. I had chips is my worst enemy, but I love them. I can eat some chips. You
in moderation, nothing wrong with moderation.
Yeah.
And drinking a lot of water is always healthy. Just staying hydrated, full of water, that washing. And then even when it comes to working out, and I may be a little partial, but the reality of a strength training, any type of strength training exercises, those help you even more long term because even when your body's not working out, it will still be burning calories.
Yeah.
So even when you do some type of resistance training and strength training, your body's going to continue to burn calories for the days to come versus sometimes we just do that cardio. You're just burning when you're doing it, but you're not going to burn every day unless you keep it up. So of course, incorporate your cardio because that's good for heart health, but adding in some resistance and strength training, you can do home workouts that are really simple, 10 minutes a day with water bottles you got at home, simple things, but just incorporating it little by little.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think, Destiny Inspire with your sis and your friend Crystal Whitaker right here on the Morning Jam podcast. It has been a blessing, sis. It's a blessing, fun. We had fun. And I learned a lot of stuff. You definitely inspired me today. I look forward to connecting with you again, especially when I get to A.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna hang out and do some fun things. Maybe you can teach me some training stuff that you did.
I've got something special coming out pretty soon. I'll be turning 30 in September.
Okay.
And so I'm determined when 30 hit, I'm not going to lose it. I got to, now I feel like challenged because people are like, oh, don't worry, girl. When you hit 30, it's going, I'm like, okay, bet, say less.
That's true because when I hit 30, I started getting a little, extra.
Yeah, I hear things start changing. So now I have more of a determination. So you know what? How can I help myself and other women to be even better? The older we get, the better we continue to get.
But it's not bad, though.
I agree. I don't mind. I was trying to put on quarantine 15 during COVID. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was looking forward to that quarantine 15. I was like, yes, this is my chance. Get a little extra, here and there. God is good, right? It did. It helped me. It helped me a little bit. So, I was able to now take that and convert it when I start working out again and get it in the right, just
in the right
get it all where it needs to go. Make it do what it do. Let the Lord have his way. Anyway, you bless me, I'll be satisfied. I'm gonna make it work.
But you done blessed me a little bit too much, God. Keep it at one level right here. Well, you're right here with your sister and your friend Crystal Whitaker on the Morning Jam podcast. We have enjoyed ourselves right here with Destiny Inspired. Destiny, let the people know how they can connect with you for speaking engagement, life coaching, all of that. Even connect them getting your book. So
absolutely. So they can go to my website, destinyinspired.com. You can book a consultation call with me, schedule me to speak for your event, my products, my books. I have a journal. I have a confidence book. I am launching a new program for women called B3 Bloom, Bible Brains Beauty. It's helping you develop your spiritual, personal, and professional development and do what you've been called to do. Because you don't got to be either or, sis. You're both and all of the above.
All of the above. Right here. We're truly blessed. Right here. Morning Jam podcast with your sister and your friend Crystal Whitaker and Destiny Inspire. Peace. If you enjoyed this podcast, tune in each week on thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Until next time, peace.